They are the leader. They're very direct. They know what they want.
Nike could be their slogan.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. I love it. Totally. They're confident in what they want to do, and they just go for it.
Welcome to another episode of Anyways.
Woo!
This is a podcast where we encourage you to shine your light and also dive deeper into all 9 types of the Enneagram. So in the previous episodes, we've kind of gone over the core motivations for all 9 types. And Laura, you tell them what we're going to get into today.
So we are starting a little series on the different centers of intelligences. Sounds weird, but yes, centers of intelligences. And there's the body center types, which are the 8, 9, and 1. The head center type, which is 5, 6, and 7, and the heart center type, which is 2, 3, and 4. And we have mentioned those a little bit in the past couple episodes, so we thought, let's dive a little deeper. So today we are starting with the 8, because they go big, they have a lot of energy, boldness. So we were like, let's start with our 8s, which are in the body center.
And they're right in between our numbers. You're a 7, I'm a 9.
That's true.
So before we jump into the center of intelligence for the 8, let's have our lightning round. And you have the questions this week.
Yes. Okay. So, Zach, if you have a random free Saturday, what would you choose to do?
Oh, I would probably just sit back and relax, not do anything. Maybe go see a movie, maybe binge watch a TV show, but I have to be really into it. I can't see myself reading, or I may even try to catch up on work. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
So pretty chill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we just had a free Saturday, sort of, this past weekend. And we were outside a lot. We walked a lot. I like to be active, do something that's a little fun, a little different, maybe go to the park. I'm thinking, the kids in mind too, some family fun activity. But I definitely wouldn't want to just be in the house. Remember those Saturdays that after I'd worked a couple Saturdays when I had it off, and I'm like, what are you guys doing?
And I'm like, we just sit around and we don't do a whole lot.
And I'm like, I think I should work today.
Yeah, you found it better off that being at work or whatever would benefit. But prior to the Saturday, you also said, well, we're going to plan a date. We're going to go out. And so that's how we made best use of the Saturday, too.
That's true. So we make plans and do fun things.
Well, you make plans.
Well, I do make plans, and Zach goes along with them.
Yeah.
So we're a good duo. Okay, the next question. What is your ideal vacation vibe? Is it A, go on lots of fun adventures, hiking, etc.? B, chill on the beach with sunsets, relax, or C, road trip with friends where you just can stop anywhere and be spontaneous. And
I think I'm chill on the beach. I'm going to read a book, and I feel like in previous trips like that, I've taken a couple of books along with me or the Kindle and whatnot, and just really enjoyed not doing anything. And I know that in the past we've talked about doing excursions and stuff. We maybe did one excursion in our last trip to Mexico with friends, and that was about it. That was good for us. But what about you?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the question before. Zach's the chill relaxer, and I'd go with A, the adventure. Although I feel like back in the day I used to be able to chill a little more and like to be in the sun and whatnot. But now I find myself wanting to have fun activities planned. So I would choose the zip lining and the kayaking and then maybe have a little downtime.
Okay.
But see, Zach, you would go on those adventures with me.
Yeah.
So would you not really want to do it?
If it was just me, myself, and I, no, I would absolutely not. But because you have an influence on me, and I want to enjoy time spent with you, so that's a love language conversation and totally different from this, then I'm going to come with you. But I don't really necessarily care.
Okay, so that's a further episode. The 9 needs to say what they really think and want to do.
Right.
Okay, so last question. You get one superpower for the day. What would you choose?
I think to fly. I like the idea of being able to get from point A to point B in the fastest way possible. And I think flying or teleporting would be that way.
Yeah.
What about you?
I agree. So
you
we
like that
can
one?
fly together.
Okay.
Because just think, we could be like, hey, we want to go to Nub's Knob, our favorite ski resort.
Yeah.
And boom, we're there.
When we're skiing.
And
we're
enjoy
going down
it the
mountain.
last few days. Or we want to go to Disney World, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yes, I would too. So that concludes our lightning round for today. You guys got to learn a little bit more about me and my husband, Zach. So let's dive in a little bit about the Type 8, just to remind you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
and remind us of the core motivation of an 8, too.
It's
okay.
to be
They
strong
are
and
also
not
an
impacted
assertive
by
type.
the world around them, basically.
Okay.
So
They're in control.
Yep.
They like to be protective.
Mm-hmm.
An 8 in your corner is a good person to have.
Yes, absolutely. So one of my favorite people in the whole wide world is an 8, my mom. So
Yeah. She's a great 8.
She's a great 8. So we love qualities in the 8, just like we love qualities in all 9 types.
Mm-hmm.
But today we're just going to start focusing on and talking a little bit more about the 8 in terms of the body center.
Okay.
So what that means is each type leads with a dominant center of intelligence. So for the 8, 9, and 1s, they all lead with the body or gut center, meaning they respond in action or instinct initially. Okay?
And then, that makes sense because I'm a 9, so
Yeah.
I feel this gut instinct.
Yes.
Now I lead with it, too.
Yep. So the 9 does it too, but differently. So we'll actually do the 9 next week and talk a little bit more about that. And then we'll talk further episodes about the 2, 3, and 4 with the heart and the 5, 6, and 7 with the head. So, but today with the 8, they are so gut forward, action oriented that they just like go for it. They don't really pause to think. They just go after it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I mean, you want that instinctual person, which is why I said earlier, you want the 8 in your corner because they're the person who, without even thinking, they're going to, I feel like they're going to give you what they see as the best possible solution for that.
Yes.
And it may be uncomfortable too.
Mm-hmm.
Or it may be a great idea.
Right. And they're the person who, yeah, they're going to do what they need to do to get something done, but they also want to encourage you to do your thing as well.
Okay, so what does that look like leading with the gut? For an 8 specifically,
Yes.
how does that gut instinct, that body type, what does it say an 8 does?
So, like in conflict, an 8 would address it immediately.
Okay.
They're not going to
sit around, stew in it, wallow.
Yep.
No, they're going to go to the person and they're going to have the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that's kind of how it looks in conflict. When making a decision, they think of an 8 we know or other 8s, but they're going to trust their gut and just do it.
Okay.
They just know what to do. They act, they know the right action, the next step forward, and they don't hesitate.
Yeah.
This is a big strength for an 8. I mean, in general, because a lot of us, have to think through things first or wonder how it feels. And an 8's able to just be confident. That's another quality in an 8, but they're confident in what they want to do and they just go for it. So
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And then when there's a problem, they will take charge and kind of try to solve it, go after it, and they want to move on as quickly as possible. So
okay. So again, not sitting in it, they make the decision, and then do they own that decision that they've made?
I mean, it probably depends on the type or the person.
Yeah.
The subtype. But I think typically they think their way is the right way.
Okay.
If I had to guess, what would you say?
I would say, yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that they would go with the best possible solution. One that I would say keeps them in control.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a good assessment? And it's one where they can control the surrounding and or what the group does and with others. And I think like back on a situation that I had with your mom where I was kind of thinking about, well, should I do this or should I do that with a career thing? And she's like, you know what? At some point you got to do that or get off the pot. And I really took that to heart. I was like, you know what? You're right. I've been coming to you week after week with the same problem. And probably that to an 8 drives them crazy because they're like, you know what? Just do it.
Right.
Like Nike could be their slogan.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. I love it. Totally. Yes. And they're like the person who's just like very advocate for others too.
Yeah.
Like if someone's being made fun of or being made to feel a certain way, they will stick up for you and stand in your corner. And
just like you said, they're protective.
Yep.
And that is one of the big things that we love about 8s.
Yes. So, this talking about knowing their center of intelligence, that they react in the body first, is helpful because then for them to realize that, okay, so I don't respond first from my head or my heart. How can I integrate all 3 centers to make me the best version of myself? Because that's what all 9 types should do to be your, best version of yourself. Best is to find more about yourself and realize how you can grow and integrate into like the most well-rounded version of yourself. So if you know you're an 8 and you respond first in your body, we're not saying change that.
No.
We're not saying that's not a good thing, but to be aware of what else do I need to tap into in this situation. So, that's when the growth happens, is when you can integrate all 3. And so for them to realize what's in their heart center for an 8 is a little challenging because they don't want to be vulnerable.
Right.
They feel they need to be strong. And that's what drives them. So it's all about working with an 8. It's about helping them realize that actually being vulnerable is a strength.
Yeah. You don't need to avoid being weak. You can tap into that a little bit, tap into your heart, and naturally, of course, you're always going to lead with your gut, but if you can see what your other centers are saying, then that can help you kind of like lean into even a better situation or an even better decision made from that.
Yep.
So I'm understanding.
Yep. And so to be able to name your feelings and kind of sit with how you're feeling, how other people are feeling a little more, being in tune with that instead of just reacting automatically in a situation, to let people in by being vulnerable.
Yeah.
So the shift for an 8 to kind of be in tune with their heart center is, instead of just being like, I'm fine, moving on, right? How many times have we heard my mom say that? Moving on, we're fine. To shift from when you think of saying that, actually pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling?
And that's how you get to the heart center. What am I feeling?
Yes, it's tapping into your emotions. Like, what is this bringing up in me? Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I feeling anxious?
Am I excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the emotions, all the feelings.
Okay.
And also, what could someone else be feeling is a good question as well.
So a little empathy there from an 8 could help them tap into the heart center.
Yes.
And then about the head center, which would be the last of it, what does an 8 need to do to kind of think through it? So
instead of reacting immediately, all the time, to pause and slow down a minute and just think.
Give yourself the time.
Yes. Think through things. Consider maybe your consequences before you react immediately or say what is on your mind. Because that is an 8 trait, which I am a 7 wing 8. So I have this quality as well where, oops, word vomit. I just said it. Like, very direct. And sometimes it can come out and then I'm saying sorry because it's, not what I should have said.
Right. And you don't know, like, sometimes by saying what you said, you don't know how the other person's going to react. And the other person may, on the other end, may not be an 8, and they may take it to heart. They may be an 8 and fire right back at you. And that could be where 2 8s would clash.
Right. I mean, an example, real life, if we're being vulnerable, just 20 minutes ago or so. No, we were...
in a conversation
we were having a conversation and he apologized about something and I said, I'm not saying sorry. I don't feel I did anything wrong.
Yeah.
And that sounds so terrible after repeating it, but I feel like it's my 8 wing being like, I don't feel I was in the wrong and I'm not going to say something I don't mean.
Yeah.
And that's what an 8, they're not going to BS you.
Right. And that's why I love my 8s, because I feel like I can go to an 8 for advice. I can go to an 8 if I need a straight shooter that isn't trying to just, make life all roses and sunshine and rainbows and stuff. They're going to be like, it could be hard, or this could be a great thing for you. But here's the real, I feel like a very realistic thing that you need to realize.
Yes.
So I would say, find an 8 in your corner. If you are the 8, then take to heart what you said about centering yourself and not just going with your gut and really pausing to reflect and think about how the other person might react.
Yeah.
Have that
think
empathy.
about your consequences, feel what maybe you're feeling, but then still go after it because we love that about you.
Absolutely.
Please. Charge ahead.
Yeah, we need somebody
Make
to do it.
it happen. What's the Nike?
Just do it.
Just do it. Yes.
I think that's a perfect slogan for our 8s.
Just do it. I love it. We should come up with a slogan for all of them. So that's kind of our recap on that. And it's just a very, quick way to kind of show you guys a little bit about what are they talking about? The body center, the head center, the heart center. So this is just kind of, we're getting our feet wet here with you guys, kind of trying to explain it in a simple, not too long way. And we're going to dive into each number just like this with the following few episodes here.
Which I look forward to, because with all 9 types, all have these centers. Like you mentioned with the body and the head and the heart, all will cover and will give you different resources that you can tap into, because an 8 doesn't look like a 9, doesn't look like a 1, just because they're all in the same body type.
Right, exactly. And so we'll kind of do little ways specific to their type that you can try to integrate all 3 centers and realize more about yourself, and then enhance your own superpower of, reacting out of your gut. Because I think I said this from the beginning, but so the body center types, it's like that is their dominant instinct that they act out of first. And so whether the 8 goes from their body center to their head center or their heart center, that's different on each person, because it's kind of like a stacking.
Okay.
But either way, it's just good to know how to integrate them. And so that's kind of what we wanted to talk to you guys about today. And some practical tips that I would give an 8 as we're kind of wrapping up is just to remember to pause before reacting. Check in with your feelings. How are you feeling? Let others lead.
Ooh.
That may feel a little cringy.
If you take a step back.
Because it does to me a little bit too. Yeah. With my little 8 wing. To kind of see like what happens when you're not always in charge.
Yeah.
And let someone else kind of lead. And then to be open with people you trust. Be vulnerable. Like let that one person really know how you're feeling. Because that's what relationships are all about.
Yeah.
Being vulnerable and open and not
Authentic.
just being the strong one, which we appreciate that, but we want to be there for you too.
Yeah, we need a strong person. But
Yep.
it's also good to know that there's feeling behind that.
And your impact as an 8 when you bring your head and heart, as well as your body center, that we know you respond with that gut feeling and action, your impact will be even stronger on the world and on the people around you that you love so much. So
I love this. I love my 8s.
yeah. So I feel like that's what we'll end with today.
If you have any questions about yourself as an 8, what that may look like, if you want any more resources, feel free to contact Laura or myself, feelingtypey@gmail.com, or online at feelingtypey.com.
Yes, would love to talk to you more about it. And even if you think you know an 8 and you want more information, I do like more working with the person who's that type. But just for resources and conversation, if you had questions, would love to hear from you.
In the next episode, we're going to talk about me.
Yeah.
Me.
Zach and his 9-ness.
As the 9.
As the 9.
So we'll discuss that in the body type in our next episode. So without further ado,
keep shining your light, friends. Until next time.